I think it's important for business leaders. I would say that when I think of the next generation, my first thought is I want you to be better than me. I need you to, wherever it is I ran, I want you to fly. Okay. Okay. I think that female representation is so underrepresented in many businesses and in many top corporations. And usually what you then find are some companies who bring one, they go, look, on our board, we've got one or two, it ends up looking tokenistic. And that to me is problematic. It is really important for businesses to invest in female leadership. It is really important for businesses, and this is a practical tip, to have a clear trajectory for women to grow in and within the business. And I think this matters particularly because women wear, multiple hats. There will be women who choose to be working mothers. There has to be a clear path for a working mother to carry on with her career while she's able to raise the next generation, literally. And you also have female employees who perhaps will benefit from the support of their corporations with additional advanced studying. All of that alongside increasing them in their professional space. I think that is important. It is also important that we don't pay lip service to what leadership means. I think it's important to recognize that leadership is not the male stereotype. It is not having to be sound and do what men do. I mean, what is the point of that? That's just totally wrong. That's not recognizing the diversity of our strengths, the diversity of what we can all bring to the table, both male and female. And I think that is really important. Corporations must start to rethink. They must start to unpick their learning. They must start to encourage in a very visible way that women are going to be positioned because one, they deserve to, two, we've been denied way too long, and three, this is what meritocracy looks like. This is not about, well, you've just taken a spot away from a man. Well, with all due respect, for centuries spots were taken away from women simply because they were women, but they were equally talented, if not more, and they had every right to be in those positions, even more so than the men who were in there. So now is the time to address that imbalance. Now is the time to put an end to that discrimination and understand that women don't just come, to the table with one hat. We wear multiple hats. I think it's important for business leaders. I would say that when I think of the next generation, my first thought is I want you to be better than me. I need you to, wherever it is I ran, I want you to fly. Okay. Wherever it is that we got to, we need you to run from there and achieve greater things and do exploits. And I think that should be the thinking of business leaders. It should be, we are nurturing you so that you do not make the mistakes of our generations. We are nurturing you so that you learn from our experiences. That way you don't need to go learn that same thing, right? Saves you and saves us time. And if business leaders are able to bring their own experiences and strengths, this is where you benefit from the diverse backgrounds of people. I think that will go a long way to nurturing the next generation, because the next generation would not look like us. There will be, I think, a variety of people from different backgrounds. And we pray that the next generation will be so much more representative than our generation when it comes to business, when it comes to leadership in corporations, when it comes to ensuring that the marginalized communities and marginalized voices actually have secured their place, because they have a place, but right now and going forward, it will be secured. And this is where we encourage, and I would say that business leaders must encourage the young generation to give voice to their voice. I mean, we all have a voice. but we need it activated. You know what I mean? It needs to be activated. And it's so important that we nurture the next generation to give voice to their voice. That is how to become the kind of leaders that we hope to inspire them to be, and the kind of leaders that will achieve more than we have. When I speak publicly with people, I hope they be able to get an understanding of who I am, and understanding that I speak without fear or favor, and I speak from the heart. I don't speak to get applause. Your applause is not going to fulfill me as a person. What makes a difference to me is that we collectively as a people, regardless of our race, regardless of our sex, regardless of our faith, regardless of the things that differentiate us, we're able to find the commonality that unifies us. And finding that commonality, I need people to always understand, does not mean you don't speak out against what is wrong. Okay? So when people hear me speak out against what I know is wrong, that does not mean I don't want unity. Because the only way you can get rid of a cancer is actually to get rid of it. You don't act like it doesn't exist. I can't all of a sudden to go, okay, because of peace and unity, let's not talk about the patriarchy. That's not going to work, because women will suffer if we are silent about the structural and systemic issues that arise from the patriarchy. Same goes for racial justice and social justice. So I hope that people are able to understand that two truths can be, two things can be true, should I say, that multiple truths are possible. It is possible to agree and disagree. It is possible to disagree with someone but still respect them. And it is possible to not want to have anything to do with other people, certain people, because maybe of their actions or their words. But that it's really not about that. At the end of the day, it's about what impact can we achieve, either together or separately. So when people hear me speak, I hope they come away with, okay, I have a better understanding of who Dr. Shola is. And from what I've heard today, actually, it provokes me to want to go and do ABC, to go make changes in the way that I engage with people, in the way I engage at work, in the way that I speak truth to power. Because as I say to people all the time, listen, you don't need to have a loud voice to start a revolution or to bring a change. You don't. Look, Rosa Parks, all she did was not get up, and that started a whole revolution. You need to think about this. You take who you are, what you have, what your strengths are, and use that to bring about the changes you want to see. We are all different, but at the end of the day, we want the same thing. I want to be able to walk down the street just like you, say hi with our eyes, eye contact. People say, hey, hello, and wish you well. Wish that you have a great day ahead of you. And I'm sure you wish me the same. We want to be able to walk into our workplaces and feel that these workspaces are safe enough for us to be who we are by faith, in our sex, in our gender, and in every other representation that we bear. It has to be that we're creating a better space and a better world for ourselves and for the next generation. And that comes from dialogue, and it also comes from activism. So I hope that those who hear me speak are able to come away with, yeah, this is what I need.